Hi everyone, this is Komal, and I am here to tell you stories and dive deep into everybody's experiences, maybe personal and professional. Let's start the journey with me. So, hi Gaurav,
Hello,
how are you doing?
all good.
Okay, so thank you for joining today's podcast, and thank you for being the first guest on my podcast. It's our honor to have you here. Why don't you introduce yourself to the audience?
Sure. My name is Gaurav, and I'm working into B2B from past 7 years. Total more than 10 years of experience, and into customer service, technical, and now finally landed. I can say I'm completely set into B2B. So yep, that's what. And I'm staying in Pune from last 12 years. Got my own house, so I can say yes, I'm a Puneri now.
Yeah. Why don't we rewind a bit and you can tell me where you've began everything from, like your sales journey, and have you tried something else apart from sales?
Apart from sales, yeah, if you ask me, my journey started first with the sales. Very new, it was 2008, 9. I remember I started as a sales executive where that was the era where telecom was booming and everyone was selling those minutes. They were selling new cell phones. BlackBerry era was there, like BlackBerry was on the top. And I was also the one wanted to go ahead and go into that. And I started with that. Unfortunately, everyone went through the recession time. Got a time to think about the graduation, which was really important. So I completed that. And then I thought about why just sales, I should move it, to something else. And I landed into a technical job, but was not happy because if you ask me, those sales was in me. I wanted that challenge and a little bit of happiness, which I used to get when I used to get those incentives, which I was missing. And after 6 months, I straight away went to my boss and I said, "See, look, ye mujhse nahi ho raha hai. I can't do this. If you want, you can transfer me to some different department or where sales is happening or anything which is related to sales, or I'll find a better job." And luckily, during that time in my company, we had the sales which was booming or was coming up. I got an opportunity. I learned a new thing, that how a complete B2B works. They were actually, I think my journey started in 2010, 11, where I came to know about that. Okay, it is not always B2C, but it is B2B. What, how the B2B journey, or you can say into B2B, what difference is, where you directly talk to the VP level, or how you have to tackle directly the decision makers rather than directly calling the customers. So I think, yeah, they were started, and that's what I think the journey took me here, where from there small things I learned, got a chance in another company to handle a team, and that's where I'm here.
Great. So you mentioned that COVID happened in between, right? As
Yes.
in, yes. So what has shifted for you in that time in your personal and your professional area?
So if you ask me, COVID was something I think was really bad when it comes
Yeah,
to, when we think many people
for
lost,
everyone. Yeah.
it was, but at the same time, it was good for me as well, because I still remember, I just 20 days before the lockdown actually started, I joined one of the biggest giants of B2B. Uh, Most people know about. So we came to that we have to work from home. It was the first time, I think, all over India, where people, it was really new. People were happy. घर से काम करेंगे, आराम है. But the drawbacks were different about it. That where you think sometimes it is comfortable, but it is not, because you're used to those 8 hours of working.
Yeah,
But sometimes when
exactly.
you work from home, you get restless, and or you can say you have to work a little bit more. That's what it's, but
Exactly.
at the
Yeah.
same time, you're happy that you can learn more, and that's where it came. What happened was, it was few of my friends, they were working with me. They came down to Pune for they wanted to stay here for a few days, days. They wanted to, as they were working from office,
Yeah.
and suddenly we were said that we have to work from home because it was a lockdown.
Yeah.
And if you ask me, the lockdown was not that serious when it started, so they took their time. They were staying in the PG and everything. And suddenly it was that, yes, it's a strict lockdown, you can't go anywhere. And they were like, boss, house, like they were staying.
What do
So
I
like,
do?
where do I
Yeah.
do? Where do I go? And my mom was stuck in the village. I was alone here. I said, let's do one thing. Let's stay together. Make sure we take care of each other. Let's not bring COVID from outside here. And let's
Let's
enjoy. Like
learn
let's
something.
cook,
Yeah.
learn something together. We were like around 5 people staying together. I
Yeah.
remember, and everyone, whatever, like they were able to get the clothes and food items and everything. Still remember that, like hosh posh, everything going on. Everyone came to my like, because I had a big apartment because I
Yeah.
was staying with my family.
Okay.
So everyone came, and the best part what happened was, Komal, that we learned many things from each other. Few were seniors who were staying with me,
Yeah.
who had better experience than me into B2B. So I came to know about very small things, that what the term called as like CDQA, why actually CDQA is important, why band is important, why, like, the age is important in the team, and how this is gonna grow in the future, and what is gonna be the future of. We were talking about that. So I don't think so if COVID would have happened, or lockdown would have happened, we would have got the chance to
Yeah.
go ahead and research so much. At the same time, if you ask me about the best part which happened, was that communication between, like, I was a very introvert, like I used to not talk a lot, but then when we 5 people were staying together, we came to know that actually lockdown taught us that how people are important. Usually
We miss
you,
out on
yeah,
things.
you just
Yeah.
call on phone and
Hmm.
you talk to people, and, like, sales are made where that's what the most human interaction, the
Yeah.
B2B or in the corporate world, is happening.
Correct.
But when we stayed together, when we came to know, when we're watching those things on the TV, that how people are losing their loved ones and how we were connected, I think that brought me also very close to my relatives. And also at the same time, I really got a good younger, like, I can say good friends whom I can
Yeah.
depend on few things. So yeah, that was a good thing which happened with COVID. Yeah. At the same time, we lost few people who were important, but
Yeah.
at the same time, good thing also happened in the COVID.
Yeah. Mostly negative and positive, which have
Yeah,
happened in COVID in everybody's life.
exactly.
So you've mentioned a lot of learning and development in that phase. And I also know a story where you've become a TL from SME. So what was
Yes.
the journey like? Like what happened during
Um.
that phase?
So actually, I was working under one of the managers, and unfortunately, he went to his hometown for some work when the first lockdown opened, and he went to check on his
Okay.
parents how it is. Unfortunately, he got diagnosed with, that was the thing, and because he got diagnosed, of course, the rule was that you have to stay in
Yeah.
government,
Quarantine and everything.
authorities and
Yeah.
all this, and for 20 days, it was told that he will be not coming back. And he was very clear. I still remember, just he called me and he told me that unfortunately I have not got my laptop with me. Neither I'll be allowed to work because other patients are there.
Yeah.
So the team, you have to take care of the team. Though I was just
Yeah.
helping him, like, before that, if you ask me, I was just taking care of certain reports or something, and at the same time, I was doing my job. So suddenly, like, 25 people team, and
And
I
you
was like,
experienced
how
it
to
together.
unexperienced.
Yeah.
But then I just thought that let's take this as an opportunity. And as my 4 to 5 friends, they were also from my team. I told them that I need your help. This is the
Correct.
right time, like,
Yeah.
and they told me that we think you can do it. You have that people management skill. You always, like, you know how to handle. But the
Yeah.
biggest challenge was that I was handling two regions, that is a morning shift and a night shift.
Okay.
And I still remember I was working for 14 to 15 hours, and I was just sleeping for 3 to 4 hours. Uh, Luckily, because the first lockdown was over, my mom was here. Okay, and she really backed me up. So I was really happy for that. The way, she was taking care, because we were working from home.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you need a support, a mental support.
Yeah, that's
At the same time, the food and everything has to be managed. So those 15 to 20 days, I made sure that everything was in place. That was the big challenge, because every if you see from the perspective of not just lead generating, but at the same time, the businesses were going down in the world.
Correct.
And companies wanted to deliver as much as they can, and no one losing the job. I made sure that everything was delivered on the time, thanks to my teammates and my friends as well. I still remember, after 20 days when he was back, he just told me that I think something big is going to happen, and I said I hope so. I still remember I was not able to speak because just sleeping for 3 or 4 hours. I still remember my mouth was completely I
Not
felt
able
like
to
I
talk.
got a COVID because it was tasteless. Like you get that, like
Yeah,
no
yeah.
exercise, no nothing. And I went on a bridge because I still remember they called me on the bridge and they said, "What happened? What do you have done in the last 15, 20 days?" And I was shocked. I thought, like, what happened? My director was, "What do you have done?" Like, client was talking about you, and I was shocked. Did I
Do
something
something.
wrong?
Yeah,
Because I said, "I'm really sorry, sir, but I have made sure that everything is delivered and it's in place. Maybe something might have happened, but I can still check it out."
yeah,
Then everyone started laughing that, okay, that's okay, don't get serious. And they told me that, okay, you know what? Now onwards, you're not going to work with your manager. You're going to work separately. I was again shocked. I said, what wrong I did? Like, I asked him, everyone was laughing. He wanted to say, then my manager said, you're going to have your separate team. You're not going to work under me. You're going to have your separate team. You're going to take
yeah,
care of it. And then I asked, so am I a team leader now? And they said, yes, it is. That's what we want to tell you. I said, okay, thank you. So that's where
yeah.
the journey started.
Hmm.
And I became a team leader. And yeah, from there, I'm continuing and handling the teams from long time.
That's really great. And while talking, you've mentioned very like two important things. First is your mother was here.
Yep.
So I want to know how important a family is in terms of support and in terms of whenever you need, especially in COVID and everything. And secondly, you said teamwork, right? Your team supported you
Yep.
when you initially started as team lead. So I wanted to know how these two things are important in your life and how a team can help you build yourself as well and the team itself.
So I think it's important for everyone, your personal life
Correct.
and at the same time your professional life. You should know how to balance them.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a juggling game, but then yeah, you should know that, and it's not that difficult part, or it's not a rocket science. So if you ask me how I was lucky, because yeah, when my mother was here, like if you talk about not just the food, but then COVID was the time when you were if you realize only the phone was the medium, or
Yeah,
Google chats
communication.
or
Yeah.
internet through which we were getting connected. Correct. But then I still remember that when we used to have a food, she used to make sure that she was playing some good a very small things she were taking care of, that where I'm when I was mentally stressed, because she know I was working at 13 to 14 hours or 15 hours sometimes. She was preparing the food which I like, because I think when you get a good
Mental
food,
support.
yeah, that's what happens. Your mood
Yeah.
suddenly
Changes.
it changes, and you feel happy that
Yeah.
okay, I'll do it. And she used to talk different things. When I used to tell her, mom nahi ho raha hai, bahut stress aa raha hai, then she used to tell me that this is the challenge. You know what happening, the best part, look, the best part about is that you're working from home. If you would have
Yeah.
been working
From the office.
two more hours, you would
Yeah.
have added as a traveling. And I thought, yeah, that's not correct. And she told me that, in between hours, if you think you do your job in a right manner, or if you work faster, you can get more 2 hours to sleep.
Yeah.
And she told me this is the time when, you don't have to
You
sleep.
can do
Sleep is
something.
not the important thing.
Yeah.
This is where, you can see yourself that, yes, how much you can stretch yourself, and this will help you for a longer time. So that, mental support which she provided was really important. Friends and team, I can say, yeah, very important, because see, if they would have not worked, they also stretched with me, because there were times where certain people, because of the internet issues or computer issues, and
Yeah, it was
we not
difficult.
had any way where we were able
Yeah.
to gauge if someone is really
Working or not.
working, or
Yeah.
if really the internet is not working, they really don't have the facility to
Yeah.
work. But then everyone made sure that, was this is the time, when I still remember, not give a big speech or something,
Yeah.
but I said that till now manager has supported us, let's show him that if he's not there, okay, we are an autopilot team. I never make sure that when I'm with my team, I don't make them feel that I'm the leader and you're
Yeah.
working with me. I made sure that I told them that if you are dialing, I'll also make sure that if the targets are not completing, I will be sitting with you guys. I'll be dialing.
Yeah.
If any kind of a problem we are facing, I'll make sure I'll speak to the management, and ASAP that will be solved, because I know we are going through a rough patch of COVID.
Yeah.
But let's give our best, and I was lucky, I can say. Like sometimes, even if you try your 100%, you give your 100%, people don't support you.
Correct.
But I really got a good slot. And if you ask me, out of those, I see today at least 5 to 6 people in a really good position where they're working because even they wanted to grow. And that
Hard
was,
work
yeah.
pays.
So I think everyone had that hunger during
Yeah.
that time, and that's the reason I think we all.
Well, I think destiny was also a big
Yeah,
part
yeah,
in
it's
whatever happened in your life. So, talking about destiny, I want to talk about how did you get into Intent Amplify and how do you know about Intent Amplify?
yeah.
And can you tell a little bit about what is B2B and how has Intent Amplify helped you grow in your professional journey and your team as well?
So, of course. So when we talk about destiny, I always say it's 10% luck and 90% hard luck,
Yeah.
hard work. That's what you have to do. And yeah, I can say how I started my journey with Intent Amplify. So actually, I was working with one of the B2Bs in Pune, and suddenly my mom got diagnosed with one of the uh, woman problem, and
Yeah.
she needed to get it operated, and it was a thing that it was going to take a month or two to get her recovered.
Okay.
Unfortunately, my sister was not here. She was out of India. So I not had actually that support. So I spoke with my company, the last previous company where I was working, that can I get a sabbatical or something? And even they were not. It was not
Yeah.
possible for them
Yeah.
as per the rules that minimum 15 days or 30 days what was possible.
Yeah.
I spoke, and so it was a rough patch I was going through. So I thought like it's a time to take a break. You know, sometimes you have to take a break.
Yeah.
So I was continuously working. I still remember for more than 3.5 years, I not took even a single leave. So
Wow.
yeah, I still remember I never took a leave. So I spoke to my mom. My mom also said that I'll go back to village, I'll get it done. And I said, why? Like when you're here, you supported me when it was my rough patch. It's my time now to take a break and
Do something.
let's do it. So we took a decision. I left my job. I was with her for 2 months, and I was just thinking after everything was done that I'll come back to, because I got it done in my hometown, Nagpur. So because that was comfortable for me,
Yeah.
because
For
food
you
and
and your
everything was
mother,
taken
yeah.
care by my cousins and everyone. So I still remember I was doing the evening walk, and we have a park there near my house. I was sitting on one of the bench, and I just thought like, let's go back. It's a high time now.
Yeah.
It's almost more 2 months, and it's time for me to go back and start working. And mom's also up running good. She'll be back in 15-20 days. So I should go back to Pune and let's start working.
Again. Yeah.
And I still remember I thought of on LinkedIn, going on LinkedIn and putting it as a open to work. And before I can do that, I got a call from Ankit sir, who is like our HR director.
Yes.
And I actually smiled because I had his number. I'll tell you why, because he was chasing me from 2000, I think, 1.5 year before he was chasing me.
Okay.
And I still remember I was getting the messages on the LinkedIn that would you like to come down? But I told him that it's going good and I'm not that person who will directly leave just for the sake of money. But I want something where I see that yes, I can grow as earn and learn. Both will happen. It was going good, frankly, in my last company. So it was like there why I say that the destiny, where I was just thinking about, I was procrastinating that I want to go for it, and I just got a call. And I just spoke to him and I just smiled and said, what happened? I said, Ankit, I was just thinking about to come down to Pune for a job and wow, see, you called me. So he said, yeah, that's what, means you have to work here.
Yeah.
And there where my journey started in the month of December. I was just a single person. I was feeling so alone. I still remember I was sitting in that one corner and, yeah, it was December month is something where, it's a relaxed month for B2B. Once you complete 15 days of December, no one works. No one is interested in working. Everyone is like, just making you can say the backup for the next year, or they're just saving the data for the next year so they can go ahead and start in the new year. I was like, okay, what should I do? And I just thought like, okay, let's make one thing, I should from the scratch. I should start. I started doing the calls where I remember Ankita ma'am, just once she came and Ankita asked me that what happened, like you're doing a calling. I said, you know what, I'm tomorrow when I'll have a team, and if they will ask me some questions, I will be not aware of what's actually happening. So I think this 15 days, what should I do is that I should work and I should know what actually the campaigns are or what our client want from us.
Yeah.
So I think it will be easy for us, or for me, once we'll start hiring from Jan. And she was like, okay, good. And uh, that was because we had various Christmas party we had, nice. And I still remember day decoration, though I was a winner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Being a single owner. Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
And I never felt left alone. That was the best part, what I felt about Intent Amplify when I joined, because I was just very new, and everyone had their teams. And they were like happy with the Christmas decoration, everything. But I never felt alone, because I still remember Jay coming to me, hey bro, we'll make it together, don't worry, you're not alone. Or Asim talking to me sometimes,
Yeah.
that this is what the campaign's about, is this. uh, though it took a time to speak with Vijay, because he used to be always
In the
inside the
cabin.
cabin.
Yeah.
But then now I'm I can say he's the one person I can share many things when it comes to process.
Yeah.
And Ankita, of course.
Yeah.
And yeah, Ankita was always there. Like I can say, she never, whenever she felt that I'm feeling alone or cornered in one place, she used to always come and talk that, okay, we are doing this, we'll do this.
Yeah.
What do you think
Involvement
about?
is there.
And she was involving me. So that's the best part about the transparency, what is there at the director level in Intent Amplify, is that you can walk in. You don't have to think once or twice that how should I go and approach him, kaise jaun, baat kaise karo. It's not like that. So that's the best part of Indian Amplify.
It's nice. So, where do you see yourself from here? As in, you are the team lead for appointment generation team.
Mhm.
So, where do you see yourself in, like, say, 6 months, or most probably a year, or after that? Where do you see yourself in Intent Amplify?
See, for me, if you ask me, first of all, I'm looking for, right now, I have started, it's just a very beginning phase
Yeah.
where we are building the team. I can say I have got a small core team which has been built. Now, the aim or the goal, what about is to not just grow, growing a team, but starting delivering, where we get more and more projects. Okay. Because it happens that we are right now in the phase, in the intent of me and my team when it comes to appointment generation, where now we know what client, requirement is, how soon we can deliver it. And the best part is that we have started delivering. Only the thing about is that few things haywire, it always happens,
Yeah.
because it is not always a smooth journey when you work. So yeah, to make it a smooth journey from here next 6 months, of course, few hirings which we'll be doing, uh, some goal settings which will be done more. And I think the growth, it completely depends on the results. So
That's
I can't say I want to be this or that. Once the growth will be there, I'm sure in Indian Amplify, I've seen that people are growing, and of
Yeah.
course they will think something better for me. So that's what.
Okay. And the last thing I want you to tell, what is the greatest lesson in your life? Like, what is the thing that you want to share with the audiences, um, for them to as well, include that in their lives as well? So, what is the one thing that you think?
See, I think people, or I've seen recently, where they think कि मेरा एज हो गया, अभी मैंने सीखना नहीं
हाँ,
चाहिए,
हाँ.
or now it's done, this is good. But I think the way we are moving face, the phase which is coming of AI, when we talk about nowadays, people are about why should I learn AI? I'm already 40,
Yeah.
more 15 years what I'm going to work.
Mm.
And later on, I don't think so. My job will require AI. See, I'll tell you one thing. I usually follow Mr. Altman, who is who has made the chat GPT, or who is the father of AI, they say.
Okay.
That he's also very clear about that I have made AI doesn't mean that they are going to take the jobs. I'm making this a tool, or in fact, the NVIDIA, when the talks were going on with Mr. Shen, when he said that only the people who don't want to learn this new technique will be losing the job, or the people who will learn this technique will be taking your job.
Okay.
So if you ask me a very simple thing, when we used to write the emails before this, when I was into sales, very early stage, when I was onto calling, when I used to make my data set, or I used to prepare my data set, it used to take almost a week or two, to prepare, a script. It used to take 2 to 3 days. If you know how to use a chat GPT, a very simple
It's just
tool,
like 2 minutes.
trust me, yeah, maximum 5 or 10 minutes. You have your reports ready with viewable, everything. So I think if you are saving your time there, why you want to waste a week or two? Yeah, of course you have to make sure they have to learn the proper prompts. or I can say the tools which are required for you.
Yeah.
So I think it will be easy. So I just, there's a message which I want to give is that don't stop learning. Like there is no age of learning. You have to be a learner. You have to keep that learning person in you. It's something like, someone who is younger to you. Don't wait. Go ahead and learn. I can give an example of my father. Like, I would love to. I still remember he used to work in a bank. He was assistant manager and accountant. He used to take care of those things. And I still remember suddenly in the 90s, there was a boom of computers which came. And he got a computer on his desk and he was not ready to learn. So he came one day and he, asked me, computer achhi cheez hai kya? And I was said, yeah, because you're paying a fees. I'm also learning that in a school and I want one at home. So he got that computer because they were allowed to take it at home. Yeah, to get it home and learn and get it back after 6 months. I was very happy that, I've got a computer at home, and that was like a symbol status. Was iske ghar pe computer hai. It was like that. So badi cheez hai that time. Though I used to play a lot of games on that, but then I was learning also at the same time that how the word and how Excel works, Tally works. And one day I still remember my dad being in his 50s. He came and he said, इस पे accounts होता है क्या? And I was like, आपको learn करना है क्या? And he was like, हाँ, but then I think I can do faster than that. And I told him, okay, you sit, you do your accounting, you give me this, because I still remember I was in my ninth and I said, I'll do my maths problem. You do this. Let's see who do it faster. Said, okay. And we just did challenge and I did it within a few minutes and he was looking at me and he said, really? Because that's the answer I know, he said, after doing it. I said, mujhe bhi sikhao. And I was so happy. I said, okay, I'll teach you. Though I told him that my charges are different. He said, bakwas bankar ye sikha mujhe. And we got a Tally software. We purchased it. I taught him. I was really happy when he went to the bank and he said that, that यार सच्ची है बच्चे सिखा देते हैं हमने सीखना चाहिए. And I think most of the people who was working under him, they learned the computers. And I think if that age, like he was 55 and he asked to learn, I think there is no age. Any age, like if someone is teaching you, you can see on the YouTubes, there are many good YouTubers who are of age of 50, 60, 65 plus. They're doing a pretty well job. So I don't think so. You should feel shy. Or if you have an ego, please keep that ego somewhere outside. Keep your ego. Yeah, outside and come, I say, and then learn. So ये अगर रखोगे तो बहुत आगे बढ़ोगे. I believe that. That's what great. It is a wonderful journey that you've shared with me and with the audience as well. From sales to leadership, and now, guiding your team as well with so much, so much to give to the team as well. So it was great having you on the first ever podcast on my channel. And I'll see you in the office then. Yeah, sure. We have to. Thank you so much. Thank you.